All right, we're here. Oh, all right, let's see if we can do this last one for the chapter. Chapter 7, Mythos 16. Live, learn, upgrade. If you've ever met me, you've probably heard me say this. This is my absolute life mantra. Live, learn, upgrade. Always be willing to improve your actions. This will set you up to succeed, whatever your goal. All of your success is your responsibility. No matter who wants you to succeed, ultimately, you're the only one who can take action with your life. Take accountability and start taking action. You're worth success. Live. Paycheck to paycheck. Learn. Your floor. Upgrade. Invest some of your income. We all start somewhere. That's okay. And actually, on a side note, I'm really excited. I'll be moving, and I've taken on the challenge. I am going to do your money sign again. I mean, it's been 8 years since I first started this system, and I am going to actually rent a place, give up this 3-bedroom, 2-car garage townhouse, and go rent a little apartment. Live paycheck to paycheck, showing people if you have, this is where you're starting, how you grow. And so I mean, I'm walking my talk, people. I'm walking it. Okay. Live. You deal with family no matter what. Learn. Healthy boundaries. Upgrade. Uphold your boundaries and be willing to go no contact if there is abuse. Back in hunter-gatherer days, your tribe did protect and provide for you. However, in modern cities, the days of the tribe really are over. Everyone lives separately, children being raised by a single adult, and a system designed to condition citizens to accept mediocrity. Just because someone is related to you does not mean that they are healthy. Talk to a therapist and evaluate the people in your life. Beating children is abuse. Emotionally manipulating someone to stay in a relationship that they don't like is abuse. If you find yourself in an abusive situation, then seek help and get out, especially if they are your family. You are no longer their property. And if you're one of those people who is going to come at me and say, well, so-and-so beat me, or so-and-so hit me, or so-and-so did this to me, and I turned out okay, so it's okay for me to beat so-and-so or to hurt so-and-so, you didn't turn out okay. You have cognitive dissonance, and you don't understand how the human brain actually works and adapts to trauma. So go seek help, okay? All right, live. You work a job. Learn other ways to generate income. Upgrade. Create an income stream that will get you to your ceiling. The modern systems tell us to get a job, to work our entire lives to make someone else rich. If that's all that you know, hold grace for yourself. You're a product of the system you were born into. Start to learn more ways to earn income and try them out. Eventually, you'll find things that work for you. Live. Handling your emotions in whatever way you needed to growing up. Learn whatever way you needed when growing up. Let's do that. Whatever way you needed when growing up. Learn how processing emotions helps heal your body and your mind. Upgrade how you allow yourself to fully feel each emotion. Repressing, ignoring, or avoiding your feelings isn't helping anyone. How could you possibly learn a valuable skill by avoiding it? It's not convenient nor enjoyable to process feelings of abandonment, betrayal, fear, uncertainty, anger, shame, guilt, disappointment, and any other emotion that triggers us. But the reality is, until you allow your body to process the emotion fully, it's going to stay in your nervous system. The only way to heal is to feel fully. And don't even start with that total bullshit about how real men somehow feel less. Abused little boys learn to hide their emotions, but there are endless studies proving that all men feel all emotions. Actually, if you follow, is it Gottman? I'm not sure, you'll have to look into it. But they put sensors on a husband and wife, and they deliberately had a heated conversation. And outwardly, you would think the man was sitting there totally cool, totally calm. But the research showed that biochemically, the female was calm, had a spike of emotion for the argument, and then slowly went down and calmed again. The man, as the argument was beginning to come, kind of got up there. During the argument, he was up here, and then after the argument, He stayed up here. It took much, much longer before his heart rate calmed down, his brain waves calmed down. You got to understand that just because someone isn't showing and expressing non-verbally doesn't mean that their body isn't still feeling it. They are still being hurt even if they're not telling you or showing you. Sorry. If you don't express your emotions, ask who abused you to the point where being human wasn't safe. Start healing from there. Children, little children, they're just being human. How many of us, I mean, firsthand, walking down, having to run up and stop this woman who is literally whacking a toddler with her flip-flop because she is frustrated. And then when I go to the police to say, hey, you need to intervene here, they say, oh, well, that's just what the poor people around here do. That child is a human being. That child is now being taught that being human is going to cause them physical and pain. I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous the number of violations I have seen human to human. It is the husband who literally punches out her eyeball because she doesn't want him, you know, she confronted him about cheating and she said she's going to leave with the kids. I mean, I have seen these things firsthand. The children helpless in the back seat while dad is over there just punching the fucking crap out of mom. I mean, this is not healthy. This is not normal. So if you're a child who grew up in those kind of situations, yeah, of course, you're not going to show emotion. That showing emotion is bad, but you're still going to feel it. You're still going to experience it. So no matter what fake shit you put out there for the world, I am telling you in this, you're going through it. You're experiencing it. You need to allow that experience in a safe way. I understand, you know, it's not beneficial to, if you work in an office, to go to the office and start crying or breaking the shit out of your computer, which might be helpful in the moment, but not helpful long term. So I understand you need to have a safe, controllable environment, be able to go through this stuff. But all I'm trying to say is stop acting like you didn't go through it if you did. And if you didn't go through it, understand there are people who did go through it. Okay? A lot of people really like to, especially in business, say, you know, it's nothing personal. It's just business. Oh, separate emotion from logic. We're human beings, and while on the surface you can pretend that's happening, the reality is it can't happen. We are humans. We are feeling emotions. We are going off of all of our past. Remember, the brain is not for looking logically. The brain is for prediction. That's all our brains are for. Prediction. Predicting who can we reproduce with. Predicting what can we eat. Predicting how can we survive this next. Our brain is prediction. And the ironic thing is that the only way it can predict is by referring to what it's been through. So if you've been through a bunch of stuff that says, hey, I can just use and manipulate people. I be nice and happy and fun and con a bunch of people into having, you know, emotions for me so they give me shit and then I can leave. And I never made a commitment. I'm not a bad person. I get to use these people. I see it all the fucking time. So yes, I'm passionate about this. You cannot separate logic from emotion because that's like saying you're going to separate your brains. We're all of the brains, all of them, all the time. So just acknowledge that. My little tangent. Okay, live with your current faults as coping mechanisms. Learn what toxic patterns you can interrupt with small changes. Upgrade how you handle others, how you treat yourself, and how you cope. Most personality disorders, from what I understand in research, and I'm not a professional, I mean, I've been studying it for 20 years because all the shit I had to grow up with, but I'm not a professional, I am not certified, this is an opinion, but in my opinion, most personality disorders, most abuse comes from a person who cannot cope. They have very poor coping mechanisms. So how do you cope? How can you upgrade that? That's what I'm talking about here. No one is healthy 100% of the time. Not me, not you, no one. We all have flaws. We've all hurt people at some point, and part of you resents yourself for how you've let your life go so far. If you're looking to improve your finances, there's part of you that's saying, oh, I want more. Oh, I want to do better. There's a part of resentment in there for you. Don't ignore it, just accept this reality. Find new ways to take care of yourself. Mythos Creed 16 is really my constant reminder to myself that no matter how many times I tell myself that I'm fucking up, that I'm failing, that I'll never be good enough, I can always adjust my actions. I am in control of my life no matter who thinks otherwise. I don't have to be perfect, and I don't have to accomplish things within someone else's timeline. Some weeks my progress is amazing. Best compliment I ever got was from a friend, and he told me, "You make the speed of light look slow as fuck." When it comes to self-help. I appreciate that. I've been having to do it since I was an infant, quite literally. And sometimes the hardest thing in the world is just making it to the next minute. I can tell you, after my kids were kidnapped and my husband left to go be a woman, I was homeless, I was broken, I was lost, I did not know what to do. And it wasn't about get through the day. It was psychologically, emotionally, physically, can I get through this next minute, these next 60 seconds that are just pounding away and drilling into my head, and can I get through this? So you've got to understand, look, I hold grace with myself as I figure this out. Speaking of figuring this out, that is a double space. That is definitely a double space. So we are going to double space. So that is the end of the chapter. Obviously, I added a few little rants while I went through it, but it is my book. I can do what I want. I hope that these 16 credos will help more people understand how to move forward. Like I said, this book is for who I was 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I really wish this had been the manual somebody had handed to me. Honestly, when I was 12 years old, the first time I ran away, I would love to have known what I was facing, what the fuck I had been brought into. We do not get to choose who we were brought into. If you were brought into a loving family and a family that wanted to help you and wanted to encourage you, that's amazing. But the reality is, majority of the people I grew up around, the exact opposite. We were just, unwanted children. I mean, being disowned, being disliked, being tortured for pleasure. We were always a butt of the jokes because we were the easiest ones for people to take their aggression out of. We were told by family members, oh, go steal this, oh, go do that, oh, go hurt this person. And then when it all came back on us, and suddenly they were innocent, we were guilty. And when you're in an environment like that, and you're surrounded by people like that, you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do. This book is what I needed 25 years ago. And that's what I'm doing. I just have to say, if these go out there and you actually do watch to the end, thank you. Whoever stays to the end of this video, you're really, really the people who keep me going. You are the people who are showing me I don't have to stay silent, because I'm not a once in a human lifespan. I have experienced things that other people have experienced. You are showing me right now I'm not alone. That means a lot. Thank you for your journey, whatever it is, and thank you for letting my journey help yours. You're awesome.